Hi there, this is Tata, and welcome to a Wrestling Time Post Show. It is Wednesday, November 1st, 2023, and tonight I'll be talking about AEW Dynamite. Let's kick things off talking about Tony Khan's big announcement. So, Tony Khan had tweeted out that he had an important announcement, and there was so much speculation surrounding what it could be. Especially earlier today was they had this Doja Cat and the women of AEW in the music video. So, some of us were kind of thinking, like, oh, this has something to do with the women. Is AEW finally going to go to HBO Max? Are we going to, get a streaming service? But nope, none of that happened. Tony Khan's big announcement was that tickets for All In go on sale Friday, December 1st. Because he couldn't think of a better way for the fans to spend the holidays. There you go. That was your announcement. Not a streaming service, not AEW going to HBO Max, nothing to do with the women. That was it. Literally, that was his big announcement. You could have just tweeted that out and saved, a few minutes on the show. But that was it. And I feel like this is kind of a letdown because he said important announcement. You would think that's like, oh, okay, we're getting a streaming service. Nope. How do you guys feel about Tony Khan's big announcement? Were you shocked? Was it something you were expecting? What did you think he was going to announce? Let me know in the live chat or in the comment section. Seriously. That's not what I was expecting or anybody else. Okay. We also got the return of Paul Wight, who appeared at the end of the Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega versus Cool Hand and Daddy Magic. First of all, Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega are an awesome tag team. They're going by the name the Golden Jets, and this was a good match. And Don Callis was on commentary, so afterwards, we get a challenge. Don Callis challenges Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho to a street fight in 2 weeks in Ontario. So, of course, let me see. For an important announcement, that was pretty lackluster. Yeah, it was. So, the Golden Jets accept, and of course, Kenny Omega's like, oh, he's gonna bring Kota Ibushi onto the team, and then their fourth person or third member ends up being Paul Wight, because you guys remember Chris Jericho said he knew someone bigger than Powerhouse Hobbs. So, and that person ended up being Paul Wight, which makes a lot of sense because you guys remember the WWE, they were a tag team, they were Jericho. So that was that. And I'm not surprised. I suspected it was going to be the Big Show or Paul Wight. All right, let's start this review from the beginning. There was more that happened, but I'll talk about that when I get to it. So Dynamite opened up with an MJF interview, and he just spends the entire night looking for tag team partners. Like, he had a list of guys that he wanted to tag with. He calls Adam Cole baby for advice, and Adam Cole tells him to consider Joe's offer. Remember, Joe offered to be his tag team partner, but if he does, he wants a rematch. And, MJF makes Adam Cole promise that he will defend the ROH tag titles at Full Gear. So it seems like MJF is doing double duty at Full Gear. So, of course, Roderick Strong and the Kingdom show up and accuse MJF of being the devil, and then Adam Cole hangs up and the devil appears on the screen. So who is this devil? Like, who do you guys think it is? Some people think it's Adam Cole. I know he's injured, but geez, what are the odds? Like, that would be some incredible, kayfabe right there. Like, you having Adam Cole fake an ankle injury and then having him be the devil. Maybe it's Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. Who do you guys think it is? I mean, like right now, those are the two people that come to mind. I can't think of anybody else that would possibly be the devil. But I'm liking where this is going. I can't wait. So you get the AEW International title match. It's Orange Cassidy versus Claudio Castagnoli. And no surprise here. Seems like Orange Cassidy is going back to opening Dynamite like he was during his first run as international champion. I thought this was a good match and a good way to kick off Dynamite. Orange Cassidy successfully retains his title. No surprise there. And at the end, Jon Moxley comes out. And he and Orange Cassidy go at it. He bit Orange Cassidy. Basically, afterwards, he cuts a promo and he's basically going to challenge. The devil could be Kyle. Oh, I forgot about Kyle O'Reilly. That's a good one. Kyle O'Reilly could possibly be the devil too. Give me 1 second, guys. Sorry about that. Okay. So, Jon Moxley is going to challenge Orange Cassidy at Full Gear for that for the international title, and I cannot wait. I'm going to be at Full Gear, so I'm really looking forward to the match. But it's no surprise there. I knew that rematch was inevitable since we were just waiting on Jon Moxley to come back. Sorry about that. Okay, so we get the first of 3 MJF segments. So in the first segment, he approaches Kenny Omega's locker room, but Chris Jericho opens the door and he slams the door in his face. And then he gets attacked by Willow, who says he took everything from him, so he's going to take everything back from him. And of course, the Acclaimed, Max Cash is trying to get MJF to tag with them. In the second one, we get MJF, he takes Darby Allin's name thing on his locker, writes emo bitch on it. And in the last one, once again, the Acclaim approach MJF and tell him that they'll team with him on 2 conditions. And they have this bag. He says he has to wear what's on the bag, and he has to scissor him. And then, his last option ends up being Double J's group. And this is there to help, but he backs away. So, I knew they were going to team with the Acclaimed. I think that was pretty obvious. We get an ROH 6-man World Championship match, the Gates of Agony and Brian Cage versus the Elite. So I thought this was a good match. I thought this was a good match. And I thought for sure the Elite was going to retain here, but I was surprised. So, Swerve Strickland comes out, and you know how he starts his whose house? And he says last week he was at Hangman's house. This sets Hangman off, and he runs out of there chasing after him. He leaves the Bucks alone. So it's a 3-on-2 handicap match at this point. And the Gates of Agony and Brian Cage are victorious. So they recapture the 6-man World Championships here. Now, when Swerve Strickland said that Hangman was love zones were gonna pay, he wasn't kidding. The Elite paid for Hangman's. So they get into a fist fight backstage, and you can see Matt Jackson, he's angry, he's hitting the ring post with the steel chair, and then also too, like I said earlier in the night when Omega and Jericho introduced their partner, and when they went backstage, Matt Jackson actually approached Kenny Omega in the locker room and asked why Chris Jericho was in there when him and Don Callis are cut from the same cloth and that Jericho was going to turn on him. And he asked Omega what's the point of the Elite getting back together if they haven't teamed together. So it's interesting. It seems like the Young Bucks are turning heel. But what do you guys think? And correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't the Young Bucks win a title opportunity? I thought that was the direction we were going in, that they were going to possibly challenge for those tag titles at Full Gear, but I guess not. But hey, I wouldn't mind a heel Young Bucks here. We get an Adam Copeland promo, which the whole gist of this is that he finally agrees to tag with Sting and Darby Allin. And the way it happens was Christian Cage comes out. And basically, they're stared down, and he orders Luchasaurus and Nick Wayne to attack him. And of course, Sting and Darby Allin save him. And the part that I like about this is Adam Copeland spears Christian Cage. He spears him. And this is how we get the tag match. So at Full Gear, it's going to be Christian Cage, Nick Wayne, and Luchasaurus versus a team of Adam Copeland, Darby Allin, and Sting. So I cannot wait for that. But you know what? I don't blame Adam Copeland for finally deciding to tag with Sting and Darby Allin. I mean, Christian Cage said that he was going to put him in a wheelchair. So, ow. We get the AEW Women's World Title match, Hikaru Shida versus Willow Nightingale. I didn't think this was a bad match, but correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't Willow Nightingale a part of that four-way to determine who got a title shot? A match that she lost? Sure, she didn't get pinned, but she lost, and yet she's getting a title match. It's one of the few problems the women's division has, but I'm not going to get into that. That's a whole separate video. But nevertheless, it's a decent match. Of course, Hikaru Shida comes out. She extends her hand to Willow, and like timeless Toni Storm, who, Toni Storm is killing it with her character here. I'm actually digging this character. Shida just like goes after her, and then like the lights go out, and you're like, what's going on? And Julia Hart confronts Willow, and she also extends a hand to Willow, but nothing happens. Sky Blue basically comes out, stands in between them, and she sprays a blue mist at Julia. So I'm not sure what the whole point of that is. Like, if that means Julia Hart's going to turn good again. I thought they were going to do Sky Blue and Willow turning dark and joining the House of Black. That's what I thought it seemed like it was going, but apparently not. I mean, I could be wrong. But I wasn't a huge fan of that, because like you did all of that, you're starting to turn them dark, and then you're gonna have her spray the mist. Like, is that to revert her back? I'm a little confused there. So we get a Kingdom segment, and Roderick Strong calls Adam Cole, because he's baffled at the fact that MJF hasn't asked him to be their partners. He calls him a jerk, and then Adam Cole tells him to shut up. The 8-man tag match ends up being Bullet Club Gold versus Daddy Ass, the Acclaimed, and MJF. So the funny thing is MJF comes out with the pink scarf, pink boots, a shirt that says Scissor Me. He's all decked out in pink. I mean, it makes sense because it's Wednesday, and you guys know on Wednesdays we wear pink. Well, I mean, I know I'm not wearing pink, but my background is pink. So I thought that was really cool. Mean Girls reference. And in case you haven't seen, there's a Mean Girls ad with a Walmart ad using Mean Girls, which I thought was fetch. So this match was pretty entertaining. I think some of my favorite spots was when Daddy Ass faced off against his own sons. He faced off against Austin and Colton. So those were some pretty cool spots. They even did the Scissor Me Timbers to Colton. And of course, like another spot that I like was when MJF did the kangaroo kick to Juice Robinson and Austin Gunn. And amidst this chaos, Jay White hits the Blade Runner on MJF, and he and Bullet Club Gold are victorious. So as we know, MJF is not getting his title belt, which actually makes sense, because if MJF would have won the title right now, he was going to go ahead and retain it anyways at Full Gear. So it makes perfect sense that MJF is not getting his title back till Full Gear. And I cannot wait for that match. I'm going to be there live for that. I'm so excited. So, like, at the end, like, Bullet Club Gold is holding down MJF. And he gets saved by Daddy Ass and the Acclaim. And, like, MJF and Jay White is still alone in the ring. Max Caster saves them from Jay White. And so finally happens. We get a 4-way scissor party, which was incredible. That was a great way to end AEW Dynamite, if you ask me. It was incredible. I really like that spot. So, but what did you guys think of this match? Were you shocked that MJF picked the Acclaimed? I personally wasn't. I kind of saw that coming. But my review is going to end there. overall, I thought the Tonight Show was a pretty good show. I was not a huge fan of the Julia Hart, Willow, Nightingale, Sky Blue segment because it was, I'm not sure what happened there, but the match between Hikaru, Shida, and Willow Nightingale wasn't bad. It's just, it doesn't make sense. Why is Willow Nightingale getting a title opportunity when she lost? It's inconsistent booking, if you ask me. And we shouldn't be having that, but which is my opinion. But overall, I thought it was a pretty good show. Tony Khan's important announcement really brought the show down a little bit. So if you ask me, I'd give it an 8 out of 10. And with that being said, that concludes this review. So thank you guys all so much for watching and for the continued support. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell so you get notified whenever I go live or release a new video. And as far as tomorrow is concerned, I'm going to be recording my Crown Jewel predictions, and they should be out on Friday over at A+ Hero Report, we're the WrestleManiacs. On Friday, I will not be reviewing Friday Night SmackDown because I will be watching Impact's Turning Point. But prior to my review for Impact's Turning Point, I will be calling Turning Point with my good pal Noah over at the Jeff Meacham Universe. So make sure you guys check that out. And I'll see you guys Friday on my channel after Impact's Turning Point. Bye.